Hello, welcome to Captain Dorja's Armory. This is Captain Dorja. As you can see right here, I am in the VK4502P Ausf B. This is a German Tier 9 heavy tank. This is the counterpart to the E75. Basically, it's a lot like an E75 with a couple of differences. It's got the same gun. It's got basically the armor is just as thick and all that, but it's not as well sloped on the front. It's got a machine gun port for a frontal weakness. And with a rear-mounted turret, the tank is not as easy to play. You can see I'm platooned with Object 261. He is driving his Object 263. And on the enemy team, we have Slavic Ral from my clan. He's in an AMX 5120, and he's platooned with Hotman Butcher, who is driving a T30. We were trying to do four-man countdown platoons, but well, when you do countdowns like that, like 1 in 3 matches, both platoons are together. 1 in 3 matches, you're on opposing teams, and 1 in 3 matches, you're not even in the same match at all. Oh, and I just remembered that on their team is also Gimli Torn, who was playing in an E50. He is in the clan now, but at this point he wasn't. He just wanted to platoon up with some guys, so he jumped in. That's why we were trying to get 5-man countdowns working, but it didn't seem to go too well. And we're going to be looking at 2 matches today. The first one, this one right here with the Ausf B. This is kind of a match gone wrong, and it starts going wrong right here. Right as I'm in front of him, that Tiger 2 rammed into me. He actually rammed into me so hard that I couldn't move. I could not keep driving. So, I just said to him in chat, "Thanks, Tiger 2. And he goes, "You need help." So things start going downhill from here pretty fast. So I said it to chat, my very slow tank needs to be rammed and stopped by tier 8 for 30 seconds. And watch his response. Boom! Now, lesson to team killers. If you're going to start team killing over something as trivial as this, you better have the health, the armor, and the damage per minute to back up your shenanigans. Because if you're gonna team damage me about something that petty, I will just kill you. I would rather, to put it in the words of Darth Vader in the game Star Wars Empire at War, I am better off without your services. And also, as a side note to team killers, team damagers out there, if you're going to team damage somebody, you better make sure they're not in a platoon, because usually if one guy in a platoon takes team damage and he starts retaliating, both platoon members will kill you. So yeah, now, this is what I mean about how this is a bad match. I didn't even get to where I was trying to deploy. And now look at the middle. You can see E50, Centurion 7-1, Tiger 2, M103, M48 Patton, M48 Patton. I know that, I think Slavic and Hauptmann are both around there as well with their 5120 and the T30. And I'm just trying to get pot shots into there from a semi-covered position here. I'm sort of trying to side scrape against this ridge with my lower plate mostly covered, and only giving them a side scrape angle. And you can see I did just bounce a shot from somebody. Let's see where that hit. Yeah, it hit on my side armor, and it didn't go through. So our Tiger 2 is yelling at us that we're all really retarded and all that. And what's funny is the Leopard 1 player on my team actually is like, "Wow, Tiger 2, you're an idiot." So I thought that was pretty funny. Now, excuse me, we're in pretty dire straits here, really. We've lost 5 people. They've lost 4. I'm not sure how, but Hotman and Slavic are both dead. And 2 M48 Pattons have just broke through in the middle. The only things holding the middle right now is me and a very, very low health T62A. And the only things holding the right flank is Object 263 and that IS-7. And they're up against some pretty nasty tanks. We're doing alright on our left flank. We're actually winning over there. But at this point, I'm on half health. and I'm rolling back into the base to fight a pair of M48 Pattons. And all I can say about this is, it's lucky for me, these guys were the worst Patton drivers ever. So I'm able to get a good hit in for 500 damage right there. And this is a very bad position to be in with a 4.5 and 2P, because as I come up over the hill, my lower plate's very exposed, and Pattons they have the penetration to just ignore my armor. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to come around angled at them and hope that they'll either shoot my front plate and bounce off the angle, or that they will shoot my side and bounce off the side angle. So I'm focusing my fire on this one Patton because he has lower health. I know that the other guy's capping, but at this point, honestly, I'm just trying to not be dead. So I finished off one Patton, and the sniper's back here. Where's my clicker? The snipers back here have put a lot of fire into this Patton. They've reduced him to about 75% health. I'm down to only 44 HP here, and I'm still engaging a Patton with, he started out with 1,500 health. And I finally succumb to the superior power of Tier 10 Medium. It's a miracle that it took them as long as it did to kill me. And at this point, the friendly IS-7 and Object 263, they're withdrawing so that they can actually help with the defense more easily. And also we have our teammates from the left flank are pulling back to defend the base, while our IS-3 actually advances into the base to capture it. You can see that our Leopard 1 in chat is telling people to report the Tiger 2 on our team, who started it all the team damaging. Oh man, it was just hilarious. So we chat up about that for a little while, and I can't change camera views, or else I would. But essentially what we have is a 48 Patton, an AMX 50B, and a T34 were pushing the base, while the E50 and the Tiger 2 were in the middle. You can see there's the 50B and there's the T34, and our team is bringing up some serious firepower. We got an M103, a T57 Heavy, and an FV4202. Plus, we have a T21 keeping everything detected. So the M103 puts the kibosh on the 50B, and the T34, well, yeah, he's not going to stand against these three guys for very long. He did manage to take down the T21, but no real surprise there. So we have our IS-3 is about to start capping. He doesn't want to start capping because he was taking fire. So the IS-3 manages to take out the Tiger 2. You can see there's the E50 up there. He just got taken out by the 4202 on our team. I'm actually really interested in the 4202. I think it's probably a really good tank. And the 48 Patton, we're not sure where he was, but he was last spotted over here. So our M103 is going looking for him. The T57 is headed to the enemy base, and it looks like the 4202 is also looking for the Patton. And I'm panning my camera around to find him. Patton's got only 31 health left. IS-3 puts a shot into him, finishes him off, and we actually win the game, surprisingly enough. So we're going to take a look at post-battle results, because I thought these post-battle results were pretty funny, considering some of the stuff that went down in this match. Okay, so post-battle results here on this match. So we managed to get 49,182 credits and 3,987 experience. That was a triple experience for the first victory of the day. You can see here, managed to do one hit to this M48 Patton, one hit to this Centurion Mark 7-1. I hit Gimli, but my shot bounced. I got one hit into this enemy Tiger 2, 2 hits into this friendly Tiger 2, including the killing blow, and 4 hits onto this Patton right here. So if we sort by damage, I actually came in third on the team with 3,123, and the 4202 and the T62A both put out more than I did, and Object actually came in second with 2624. So pretty good damage for both of us there. Let's see, damage to allies. He did 577 to that Tiger 2, and I did 647 to him. So that's pretty funny. Detailed report should be pretty interesting with the team killing flying around. I fired 7 shots. I fired 11 shots, hit with 10 of them, and 9 penetrated. So that's pretty good. The gun on the Ausf B is pretty good. It's the E75 gun. And I wasn't shooting at like lots of heavily armored tier 10s, so it pretty much penetrates just about everything you encounter. You can see 3,100 damage. That's pretty good. I received 14 hits, managed to bounce 8 shells, which is also pretty good. Potential damage received 5460. Most people would say that the Ausf B is nowhere near as well armored as the E75, but that's not actually true. They're really, the Ausf B actually has more armor than the E75. Just it's got a couple of extra weak spots that the E75 doesn't have, and it's more difficult to employ the armor effectively for most people because of the rear-mounted turret, and also the tank is much slower than the E75, which makes maneuvering into an effective position a lot more difficult. So even though you're working with essentially the same firepower, better defensive protection, the mobility issues and the rear-mounted turret basically cause the tank to be inferior to the E75 by a large margin, but you can still do well in it. You can see here with a premium account I managed to make 49,000 credits, which is not very good even for a tier 9 heavy. I got fined 29,000 for shooting that Tiger 2. He got fined a lot more than this, but 2550 got given to me for him shooting me, and repairs and ammo leads to a 7,000 credit loss. So I mean, if I hadn't smoked that Tiger 2, I would have made 22 grand on that match. And if you're a fan of Quickie Baby, you'll know that it's his advice to never ever team kill or anything like that. And he has some videos where there's one in particular where there's a larva that's just completely ruining Quickie Baby's ability to do anything for like 5 minutes. And Quickie Baby said at like 10 times he wanted to team kill this guy. And then they ended up actually winning the match because the larva was able to meat shield the enemy long enough for Quickie Baby to kill them. So, team kill at your own risk. If you're going to pay a big fine, you might possibly get banned, and you might lose the match because the retard is not there to speed bump the enemy for the 30 seconds that you need. So, I mean, do what you want, and I'll do what I want, and that's how we're going to do things. So I managed to still pull down almost 4,000 experience for that battle, which I think is a pretty good result considering, and I was very happy with that game. It started off horrible, but I was able to do a lot and get good damage, and we pulled off the win. So yeah, I'll definitely take that. So let's hop into our next video here and take a look at a match that is much more all around good. Alright, so we're in battle number 2. I'm still platooned with Object 261. He is still rolling in his Object 263. I am in my T110E5, Tier 10 American Heavy Tank, and we're in a standard battle on Lakeville. We were still doing countdowns with Hotman Butcher, Slavic, and Gimli, but they didn't end up in this match on either team. So yeah. Now, the T110E5 is a really good heavy tank. I really like it. And the reason why it's so good is because it's a really good all-arounder. It's fairly widely regarded as the best Tier 10 heavy in the game. And that's easy to understand because it's just so good in all situations. Because it's not specialized. A lot of the tanks in this game are really specialized, like the Mouse in the E100. They can take a beating, but mobility and firepower is not their strong point. Now stuff like the AMX 50B its mobility and firepower are excellent, but I mean, you can't take a hit in that thing or you're dead. A lot of the tier 10 tank destroyers, their firepower, they're either excellent firepower and mobility or excellent firepower and defense. But this thing, it's not excellent in any one area, except I would say it has excellent firepower. But in all areas, it is very good. This tank has very good mobility for a heavy tank, and for a heavy tank as mobile as it is, it has very good armor. The front of the turret, forget about it. If you don't hit that hatch, you're not going through. And you can even bounce off the hatch. The front hull is very thick. It can be penetrated, but it's still thick. The side armor is weak, but it's thick enough that you can very effectively side scrape with it. But the thing that really makes this tank just shine is it's got an amazing gun. Now, I say that because the gun is highly accurate, it has very high rate of fire, and it also has very good penetration. You can see 258 average penetration on standard armor piercing, and if you use high explosive anti-tank, you have 340 penetration, and you only have 400 average damage per shot, but with the accuracy and the high penetration combined with the rate of fire, it gives you very, very high damage per minute. Now, right as I talked about high accuracy and penetration, I actually bounced a shell off the commander's hatch of that enemy T110E5. So again, I'm kind of just waiting, and I'm not really side scraping, but I was anyway, sitting essentially in a side scrape position where I had my front armor angled to make it, harder to penetrate. And this right here was very bad. The 4202, he detracked me, and I lost my driver to the IS-4. So I ended up repair kitting and med packing my driver and backing off. Now in reply, I've detracked the 4202, and you can see the excellent rate of fire of this weapon means I'm able to reload and continue retracking the 4202. And the angle that I'm firing at, I can actually do damage to him with every shot as well. So at this point, I'm just resolved to finish off this 4202. I tried for a turret shot, and I'm actually surprised that it went through. The turret armor on that thing can be troll. So I lost half my health, but we've taken out a 4202 and an M103 in the process. And I've got good side shots on the C75, so I'm going to roll in and take him. Now at this point, we're basically in straight up battle mode. We're about to get flanked. We got an E5 behind us. Object has seen him. He's going to turn around and deal with that guy pretty soon, I think. I'm focusing on taking out the E75. Yeah, there goes Object turning around to smoke that E5. And I just focus up on the E75 and put 2 quick shots into him and kill him. Now at this point, it's time to go all in with T110E5 and just attack. I know that I can attack this way and I can get the flank of the Jagdpanzer E100. So I take that opportunity. And the Jagdpanzer E100 is reloading and I still have his flank, so I'm going to move in and just keep up the damage, put another hit into him. The IS-3 puts a good hit into him and Object finishes him off. So we're on 5 kills between our platoon and I've done almost 4,000 damage. Now, it doesn't seem like I've done that much damage because, I've only shot a few targets and I'm only doing, 400 damage per hit. But the rate of fire on this tank is just so extraordinary that it allows you to really, really rack up the damage fast. Now here I'm side scraping against these guys in case they fire at me, but I'm also worried about the possibility of artillery fire. I finish off the bat shat. I get detected. The enemy 261 lands a shell near me. I'm down to 650 health. At this point, me and Object, we're just trying to not die. We want to get brothers in arms and we want to win. So we just lost the valley. There's nobody at base except artillery. So even though both of us are on low health, we decide to go back. All 3 of their tanks are there, so they've got an E100, a Centurion 7-1, and an IS-3 that are pushing into the base. And aside from the artillery, who hats off to these artillerymen. They had the presence of mind to actually move So many Artie would not have even noticed the breakthrough, would have sat right on the base and been killed, and then raged at their team for not coming back and defending them. You know, sometimes sometimes you got to buy your teammates the time to get back. So me and 261, we're rolling back to base to put up a defense. And that's where things like the mobility of the E5 really come in. I'm not moving through the greatest terrain for high speed, and I'm able to keep up a speed of almost 40 kph. If I was driving, say, an E100 right now, I'd be doing 20 kph. If I was driving driving IS-7, I probably wouldn't have been going that fast. The IS-7's a mobility tank, so it doesn't matter though. We're able to cap out the base before we can even get back to defend. So we have some post-battle results for that match. You can see I managed to pull off a sniper medal and Brothers in Arms. I'd already had a victory in this tank on that day, so that was no doubles, nothing like that. Managed to pull down 1,414 experience and 67,371 credits. 2 hits on the Batchat. I did hit this guy, but bounced off. Got some detection credit for him. I detected this M103, but that was it. A lot of hits into the E75, including killing him. A lot of hits into this 4202. Was able to keep him permatracked and just kill him with my high rate of fire. 2 good ones into the Jagdpanzer E100, and 1 good one into the 1390 right at the start of the battle. Start the match by damage. 4,504 damage done by me. That's top in the match. And 4,115 by object. So very good damage out of both of us. You know, it always sucks when you're in a match with like you're driving an IS-3 or you're driving a T-54 or something like that. You know, maybe you're an M103, whatever. You're not in the top, but it's a tier 10 match. It always sucks when you get to the end of the battle and you see that every tier 10 on your team did like 1,200 damage. You're like, gee whiz, well, no wonder we lost. Our tier 10s weren't doing anything. Well, you can't make that claim about the two of us. We were doing a lot of things. We were doing 8,600 damage, and together we absorbed another 7,000 almost. So it's pretty good work by us. Now, I mentioned the rate of fire and the accuracy of the gun and the high penetration of the gun. You can see that pretty well here. 15 shots fired, 14 hits, so I only missed 1 shot. And of those hits, 13 penetrated. The only ricochet I had was off the commander's hatch of the enemy T110E5. And that's really not that surprising because that hatch is a circle. So if you don't hit it flush, like if you aim at it and the guy backs up right when you fire, it's actually pretty common to bounce off that. So I was able to do 4,500 damage. I only took 7 hits, all of which penetrated. Not all of them did damage. Some of those penetrating hits were detracking shots, and I took 1 splash damage from Artie. So that's not too bad at all. Managed to make a 2,750 profit, basically, with 27,000 profit, I mean. Profit in a tier 10, you got to take it when you can get it. That's always nice. Now, they did buff the tier 10 money making a little bit, so that it's not quite such a potential to always just bleed money. But still, you don't drive tier 10s to earn credits. And a 1,414 experience. So I feel like that was a pretty solid result. It's always good to get a Brothers in Arms. Definitely fun to have a sniper medal. I like getting, Heroes of Battle and all that. Great tank, good match. I had a really good time running platoons with Object, and when we were platooned also with Hauptmann. Had a really fun time doing countdowns with Object and with Hauptmann, Slavic, and Gimli. So I hope you enjoy this video. I definitely enjoyed both of these matches. They were really fun to play. And until next time, guys, just remember that, you can never have enough big guns.